So crypto markets are trading sideways right now, seeing upwards and downwards price action. And right now, everyone's wondering, are we going to keep crashing or are we going to start to pump up? There's different perspectives around the price action around Bitcoin and a 14-day pivot and exactly where price action around Bitcoin moves from there. This goes to show that we could be seeing more red in the market in the next week or 2 weeks before we see a potential correction. There's also been, bears in the market that we've been covering like Dr. Profit and how exactly he thinks that we're going to be deviating below 100,000, especially with all the insider selling and how the price action around the markets has been looking in the last few weeks. Right now, there's also bull perspectives on how the markets do not make any sense right now, and it's usually whenever we are about to see a gradual rip, a huge send in the market. Usually we see all these fluctuations, things aren't making sense, people are calling for the top, and as a result, we have all these different thoughts that are getting thrown around. People believe we're still going to be crashing, while others believe that we're just going to be exploding all the way through to Valhalla and new all-time highs. So with all that being said, I want to walk through the price action around Bitcoin and Ethereum, why everyone believes that we could be seeing a correction or deviations below 100,000 with Bitcoin, and what you should be doing if you're investing in altcoins. But if you're new to my channel, check out the rest of my content, guys. I keep you updated on the day-to-day events, price action around Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, how liquidity is shifting, and everything you need to be aware of. This week, we've been covering all the liquidations that have been taking place, the fluctuations due to Trump talking about 100% tariffs on China, then saying everything is fine with China, and then also just some stupid headlines about producing our own specific cooking oil and a few other different things. Markets across the globe are not looking good, and as a result, guys, there's a lot of uncertainty. So with all that being said, let's go and jump straight into the markets, price action, perspectives, and what you need to be aware of. So as I said, y'all, markets are trading sideways, seeing a little bit of green, but overall mostly red, with Ethereum sitting below 4,000 and Bitcoin sitting below 108,000. Right now, everyone has been talking about how Bitcoin is hitting at a crucial region. You can see the squeeze that has been taking place. And honestly, guys, whenever we start to see a squeeze like this, a lot of people start to anticipate exactly what is going to be happening for Bitcoin, especially whenever we have been anticipating specific zones and the deviations that were anticipated. We're practically just squeezing right now, and everyone's wondering exactly where we're going to be headed in the next week. And honestly, we could be sending, but we also could be dipping based off of the price action that a few different analysts have been, showing around Bitcoin. So with all that being said, right now we're squeezing, waiting to see exactly if we're going to be ripping up, breaking these zones, or we're going to be hitting this level of, resistance and then pretty much flipping it into, just the downward price action. Ethereum right now is also just waiting to see exactly where it's going to be sending. After seeing that massive liquidation event and falling quite significantly, we have been seeing a little bit of a correction on Ethereum, but right now over the last few days and in the week, it has been looking weak, and this is where everyone again is anticipating if Ethereum is going to be ripping up or if it's going to be deviating. This goes into multiple areas around the price action with Bitcoin and Ethereum, how they open up on a weekly time frame, the economic events, how everyone is feeling, and overall the longs and shorts in the market. So this is really important right now. Markets are just kind of like sideswiped after the huge liquidation event, so everyone is just kind of teeter-tottering on what's happening. Altcoins are super reliant on Ethereum, so you best believe if Ethereum starts to pump up, yes, our altcoins are also going to be pumping up as well. But if Ethereum cannot hold this region and it starts to deviate even more, you best believe that altcoins are going to be feeling the pain. Bitcoin dominance is one of the charts that we have been keeping up with just because it has been having a gradual increase ever since hitting that 62% region whenever everything rallied, the huge liquidation event happened and altcoins dipped like crazy. Bitcoin dominance has been on a gradual increase, and we've been anticipating that it is going to return to that 60% region. It is only a matter of time, guys, especially with all the fluctuations in the market, Ethereum dumping and liquidity getting shifted out. Now, price action around Bitcoin is super important because it pretty much lets us know where Ethereum is going, where altcoins are going. And yes, Ethereum can outperform Bitcoin, but right now we're at the state where, liquidity is going to be shifting from Bitcoin to Ethereum and altcoins and vice versa as well. So right now, Killa XBT gave a great perspective around the 14-day pivots and exactly how we hit this in July, August, September, and October, and exactly what he's expecting around it. This goes into a previous chart that we covered and exactly, the performance that we see on monthly time frames and exactly what's anticipated anticipated. He literally shared this chart, guys, like about a week ago. So if you were to listen to this and follow this, you would have saw that, yes, we were going to be seeing deviations in the market. And that is currently what is taking place. He goes into say 14-day pivots work spot on. What's next? The drop after the 14th extends for 12 to 19 days. We're currently on day 3. The 14th, guys, it's the 18th, so technically we're on day 4, meaning that if we follow a similar pattern to the past times, we still have 1 week of downside before upside. So this is where he's given the analytical part of the price action around Bitcoin and what we have seen on a month-to-month basis, and it has been super strong. And this is why I'm telling you, keeping up with all the price action and how everything moves in specific zones and where we're at for the month lets you know exactly if you should be shorting or you should be longing, or if you should be buying or you should be waiting. This is super important, guys. People are also completely ignoring the 4-year cycle, something so simple even a monkey could understand it. I guess people really are stupider than he thought. Nobody can save them. And it just goes into all the bull euphoria that's being preached on the markets right now and on crypto Twitter. You do want to be bullish. I have an altcoin portfolio as well, but you need to anticipate the price action on a macro lens so you can understand where we are headed. This is super important because people buy at the worst possible time and get liquidated, and then others are positioning themselves really, really well. Going into it more, Bitcoin at the end of the day, high time frame is king. The question you have to ask yourself is, who is trapped? Is it longs? Is it shorts? Based on the market stats, retail are 65% to 70% net long, which goes into all the euphoria and everything that everyone's been preaching. Now he goes on to say, based on the structure, they got baited, anticipating a leg to 140K, yearly open in less than 3 months. So moving more into it, this is where a high time frame really preaches better narratives and exactly what's going on in a broad perspective. But everyone starts looking at the daily time frame, and then the 4-hour time frame, and then the hourly time frame, and that's why everyone gets super bullish and starts longing the markets without proper data and information. Goes on to talk about exactly Bitcoin. The answer was nobody, as he expected, with 1 billion in outflows. And this goes into his question, or what he previously has stated. The real question you should be asking is, what happens when futures open and ETF buyers see that Bitcoin drop 15%? They're going to get skeptical. They're going to get worried. But who is absorbing that selling pressure? BlackRock holds 86 billion in Bitcoin for clients. What entity is going to bid all this selling? The answer, nobody. So right now, guys, it is very, very choppy for Bitcoin price action. And honestly, what we have been seeing in previous months, more than likely, we're going to be seeing more downward price action moving into next week. Now, Dr. Profit gives his perspective around the markets, and he has been max bearish, guys, just max bearish. That's practically all you really need to be aware of around Dr. Profit. But he goes on to say exactly, talking crap about the, influencers and calls that are preaching altcoin season, that have been saying it in April, May, June, July, August, September, and then in October as well, even though markets are just dipping. He says, whenever September closes in green, October closes with 2 digits in green. He's pretty much mocking influencers. He says, never forget these clowns. I laugh hard. Goes on to talk about it more and more and more about the exact tops that he called, and in all honestly also as well the recent months and what was anticipated. He said that October to be very bullish. This is what all the altcoin investors are saying. Altcoin season is very close, cup and handle. The bear market indicator did not flash. Mocked all of Dr. Profit's bearish posts. Bitcoin to follow gold. BlackRock buying, even though BlackRock just sold Bitcoin, some Bitcoin right now. And he says, thank you for being such clowns. And this is where I try to give you the perspective around max bears as well, because KillXBT is a semi-bearish, but he's giving real analytical information, while Dr. Profit just starts dogging on people and starts talking crap to everyone. And I mean, I would too. At the end of the day, right now we're seeing deviations. He was expecting deviations. Everyone was calling him, a liar, and now we're starting to see it. But are we going to be still seeing more liquidations? He says, I said Bitcoin goes below 100K in September. With some delay, I ask for forgiveness. Some technical issues, below 100K very soon. So he's expecting it. And this is something that we covered with killer XBT and the liquidation zones, guys, and exactly where liquidity was shifting. And honestly, in the heat map, it was really showcasing that liquidity was sitting right above the 125,000 all-time high and then right below 100,000. And if we can't hold the 106,000 region, we're going sub 100K. This is really cool to anticipate, not cool, but really analytical. And once you can start to see all these different indicators and how everything is flashing, it just pours in the fact that yes, we could be seeing deviations. Are we going to be seeing them going below 100,000 on Bitcoin? We don't know. We literally just do not know. But in due time, we will know. And that's why keeping up with the macro perspective is super, super important. Now, getting out of the bearish perspectives, Crypto Mitch now has been telling everyone that he thinks that we have not peaked. No, I don't think altcoins have seen their run. No, I don't think the 4-year cycle is active at all anymore, which kind of goes against Killer XBT's perspective. And then he goes on to say, my bad, y'all. And then he just goes on to say, just be patient. And I think this is something that a lot of people could hear, just be patient. But at the end of the day, we could be still seeing deviations, and most people don't have the patience or the capital to just sit on the sidelines. They need money to explode because people are playing with money that they should not be playing with, and you should not be one of those people. Now, going through more on the price action around Bitcoin, Crypto Mitch now gives his perspective. He says it's very important for Bitcoin to break the 110,000 mark. Right now, liquidity is simply gone, through which it will take time before we're going to have a new pattern, an all-time high, but it's not far away. So in due time, we will actually see what's happening. Virtual Bacon, another person I follow on the charts and the markets, haven't shared too much of his perspectives because he's also been super bullish, but I think this was a great post talking about the markets and the shifts and what we see. He says every bull run has a point where fear breaks. Where fear peaks, my apologies. Charts look broken and everyone swears it's over. It's not the end, that's the reset. The past week flushed out leverage, wrecked confidence, and set the stage for cleaner upside. It's exactly how the market breathes before the next move. And this is where bullish perspectives are coming into play, and how at the end of the day, yes, everyone that's saying the markets are going to be dumping and how nothing looks good, it's true, because there has been a reset in the markets. Leverage has been pushed out. All the money fluctuating to stupid projects are out of the markets because people took out that money and people are just not wanting to see more deviations. And as a result, we have been seeing a complete reset. This is something that we've been covering in the last few weeks. But is that completely true? Is there actually a full reset? And as a result, altcoins are just going to start sending. The price action around Bitcoin and Ethereum aren't looking that hot. And I could be seeing one more flush before, everything actually starts to see a pump up. But right now, everything is just trading sideways, and there's bullish perspectives on exactly why nothing truly makes sense. Well, also, just to give you a little bit of fluff information, which I don't do on the channel, we did see that there was a wallet known as the Trump Insider just opened a $230 million long. His win rate is 100% so far, and now he's longing Bitcoin and Ethereum. Does he know something we don't know? And then they have they have Baron with Trump right here, but I don't know why Baron looks like he has eyeliner on. That's just freaking weird. But overall, we are seeing some fluff information on how everyone is saying that there is a huge long that is being put into play. But I can really see that this is just influencers and coals setting everyone up for failure because they want the markets to pump. And like I said, they don't just need the markets to pump automatically, but you do. And especially when you're just throwing all your money into the market. So don't get caught up in fluff information like this. Follow real data and real sources of information. Kobe's letter has been keeping us updated with the global economic events. And honestly, all you really need to know, guys, is that reporting around the S&P, around tech companies has been really, really great. We have been seeing that they, pretty much amount for about 38% of all the fluctuations in the market. On top of that, we have been seeing a lot of different things around gold as well as oil with all the anticipation around a weak economy. So this is going into mine as well as the tariffs that have been said from Trump and a few other different perspectives. But global economic events right now are just kind of teeter-tottering, not really having a huge effect on the market, mainly due to the fact that the US government is shut down and there's really not too many data points to be focused on. Fed rate cuts are going to be happening already in the next week or so, in the next 2 weeks. Next week or so, honestly, probably already next week. But you need to be aware of exactly what is anticipated moving into those economic days. Now, overall, markets are just trading sideways. Everything isn't looking too hot. My portfolio is also just trading sideways, but we have been seeing some green on the 24-hour because some people are expecting that we could be potentially opening green on Monday. It is currently Saturday right now. It is the weekend. It is the morning. It is 9:42 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I pretty much just want to give you guys an update on the week, how everything looked. I literally said at the beginning of the week, we were going to be closing in the red. And what happened? We closed in the red. And why did I say that? Because we were keeping up with all of the price action, the news events, and the sentiment around the markets. Everyone gets so caught up in a macro lens that they pretty much lose sight of how everything is moving. And you shouldn't be one of those people. This is why everyone's wondering, are the markets going to be pumping? Are the markets going to be dumping? Based off of exactly that 14-day pivot, it looks like we're going to be seeing more deviations, but a lot of people are getting front run. People are throwing money into the market, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to get liquidated again. We've been seeing massive liquidations across the markets like crazy, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see more moving into next week. So if you're new to my channel, check out the rest of my content, guys. I keep you updated on all the day-to-day events, price action around Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, how liquidity is shifting, and what you need to be aware of. I try to cut out all the other fluff in my videos and give you exactly what is happening in the markets and what to anticipate. Right now is a super important time. Tomorrow, I'm going to be dropping a market update on exactly what to expect moving into next week. Later on today, I'm actually going to drop another video just giving my perspective around my portfolio and what you should be doing as a crypto investor and what to focus on right now. There's a lot of sectors that are down in the dumps where you can make a lot of money, but if you're not focused on that and you're so focused on all these different things that people are spewing to you, you're going to miss it. So don't miss it. Stay tuned, guys. Do not capitulate your bags. Expect volatility. Be careful playing on the weekend, and hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. Peace.